From Dragging the Line podcast, I'm your host with the most, One More Sanchez, and joining me now on Zoom is former professional boxer who now turned his talents to a trainer. Please welcome Jose Guzman. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now that you've been out of the ring for a couple of years now, what is it that you do now?
Man, I just dedicate my time to I'm giving back to the sport that changed my life. I'm just giving back to it. It took me out the streets. I could have went down the wrong path growing up in the Bronx, but I decided not to be a product.
For the up and coming boxers that's been in your situation, what would be one thing that you would let them know?
It's been patience, man. Biggest thing in this game is patience. Don't rush nothing. Don't do it. Don't do it for the money. Do it because you love it. Do it because you love it, and don't rush yourself.
How did you get into training?
So I had a friend. I had a friend of mine. His name is Carlos Nieves. He's actually the brother of one of my fighters on Sweat Warriors. He tells me, "Hey, I'm working at a gym downtown. Just fired the guy. You want to come work?" I'm like, "Let's box on it. Let's go. Let me try it out." I went down there, and as soon as I go into the gym, I'm like, "Oh man, this is different." And I remember the guy that interviewed me was the guy that was my cut man, Nelson Cuevas. He was my cut man when I used to fight. He was like, "Jose, you fought for titles. You've been boxing since you was little. You're like, you should know this." And you know what? Like I said, I didn't want no regular job. I know it was a boxing job. I said, let's do it. And
Mhm.
that decision right there changed my life. That was probably one of the best decisions I would ever made.
Man, that's good. When I was looking at your training bio, you said anyone can fight, but not everyone can box. How do you relay that to the boxers when you're training them?
You know, boxing is they call it a sweet science. It's all mental. Like people see two fighters in the middle of in the ring, punching each other, banging it out. All this is the physical stuff. But they don't know there's a lot that goes into every movement, every punch, every like pivot, every slip. It's all mental. You're thinking about this. As I always tell everybody, fighting is natural. Anybody can fight. You go that listen, babies when they're little, you see them throwing punches. That's just natural. Dogs and cats fights. They fight. Getting in the ring and learning what to do, when to throw a punch, when to block, when to slip, how to throw an upcut, how to talent per that's all mental. That's all mental. I tell everybody, when you're in the ring, don't just go in there and throw punches. Think about what you're doing. Think about it as you're playing chess. You always want to be one move ahead of your opponent. So that's why I always say that, anybody can fight, but boxing is a whole different thing.
And when you're training your boxers and you're preparing them for a fight, is your style of training them different from the traditional, like back in like maybe say 15, 20 years ago?
Boxers back then, I feel like they were just like I said, they were very physical. Everything was from a man. I'm gonna stand in the middle ring and I'm gonna duke it out with you. I thought boxing nowadays is so much more mental, and Floyd Mayweather changed that up for everybody. And not get hit. The less you get hit in your career, the longer of a career you're gonna have. What makes me different, like I try to instead of the boxer adapting to me, I try to adapt to the boxer because I can't train anybody the same. And I understand that everybody has a different style. The only thing I just try to change about them is the way of thinking.
Okay. With boxing, now that the exhibition fights and
Yes.
YouTube fighters, what is your take on that?
It's boxing, but it's like a whole different crowd that appeals to to the younger generation. And
Yeah.
and I don't hate it. I don't hate it. You still get in there boxing, but as long as they respect the sport and they know what they're doing is different than someone like me. Like I sacrificed my childhood for this.
Yeah.
I dedicated my life since I was young to this sport. Like, I don't hate it. It brings a different crowd. It makes a whole different generation appreciate boxing. I don't care if it's like a Logan Paul or whatever, but
Yeah.
it's all about respect the sport. It's not a game. Like I had a best friend, his name was Patrick Cologne. He stepped into the ring and he was never the same. And I always tell people, you don't play this game.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah. Is that the story where you said that he got hit in the head and that's when you decided I'm done? That forever?
Yeah, I was fighting in Jamaica. I was in the contender show in Jamaica. And I remember the first round I won. Second round, I was okay. I got hit with a little shot. I just took a knee and he went in my mind, like I was thinking about, I'm like, why am I doing this anymore? And I stopped boxing. I was like, nah, I don't have it in me no more.
Yeah. Sometimes you see the defeat, like when Anthony Joshua, when he just, took that knee when he fought Reese. Is that whenever as a boxer, since you see it on the other end, especially, Could you tell, like, when you or do you tell your boxers, "Hey, he's about to give up," because you can just see it?
No, yeah, you body language is big. Like when you're, it all goes back down to the sweet science. I had to read a person, and like coming me, I come in like where I come. I'm from. I grew up, so I'm very street smart, and I've learned through the years how to read people, who you can trust, who you cannot trust, and then in the ring, you just pick up on little things like how they breathe, like the way they react to getting punched when a guy is like ready to go, he doesn't want to be in there. Or when you take a guy's heart, you can tell.
Okay. I wish I could see that as part of it, because sometimes you can't because of the different angles. All
Yeah.
right, sir. So real quick, Jose, before I let you go, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Quick questions, quick
Sure.
answers, okay? All right. Other than boxing, what do you like to do for fun?
Trying different foods, man. Like I feel like having like tasting different types of food from different cultures. That's how you get to know, about people's backgrounds and all. I just love trying different types of food. I think the crazier the better.
You'll try everything?
Listen, I try anything. Like
Okay.
I've had people from Thailand bring me this thing called balut. It's like the egg. I don't care. Like I from eating Mexican tacos with crickets on it. Like
Oh, yeah.
I get anything. I don't care. I respect everybody's culture. So if this is a way to understand your culture, I'm gonna eat it. If I don't like it, I don't like it. I won't eat it again. But at least I've tried once.
Now, growing up, who was a boxer that inspired you?
Oscar De La Hoya. A lot of people been here, but why not Tito Trinidad?
That was good. I was thinking the same thing.
I feel like Oscar De La Hoya was just so smart. He was a smart man. Plus, like everybody loved Oscar. He was a pay-per-view king at that time. But don't get me wrong, I love Trinidad, but Oscar De La Hoya made me want to be a fighter. I wanted to be like Oscar, but it was the golden boy.
Last one is, where can they follow you?
They can follow me in Facebook, Jose Luis Guzman, or they can find me in Instagram at JLG Boxing.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. What is that one takeaway you want them to walk away with?
Boxing is not forever. The boxing career is so short. I still remember my first amateur fight, and I still remember my pro debut. Boxing is over like this. The window is very small. The window is very small, and I tell everybody, take advantage of it now because it's gonna go by quicker than you think. Your body starts changing. The punches start hurting a little bit more, and you just want to be careful. It's very small. Take advantage of your time. Get in, get out. Be smart. Don't be one of these fighters that are taking punches for no reason. Like I said, your boxing career is very short.
Man,